A short time ago, I spoke with the Nationals MP, former Deputy Prime Minister Barnaby Joyce from Taiwan. I began by asking him about the purpose of the trip and why he and the other MPs have decided to make it now.
Well, we've had numerous delegations to Taiwan. I've been on one in the past myself, so it's my second time to Taiwan. We believe in the status quo, but we also believe in making sure that there's no unilateral actions. We want to make sure that we are both close to mainland China and also close to Taiwan. It's important, and I think as the democratic process that's apparent in Taiwan was quite evident in Taiwan. It's something that we also respect. It's a large trading partner of Australia. We have a strong economic reason to be close to the island of Taiwan, and we want to make sure that we maintain that connection. It's bipartisan. It's not just me. We've got National, we've got LNP, and we've got Labor Party people on this delegation, and I've certainly made sure that people on both sides of the political fence at the highest levels were fully aware of it.
Well, indeed, and that point you make about this being bipartisan and the fact that there have been visits over a long period of time, that was also the point that Mr Albanese wanted to make, and that both sides of politics support the status quo when it comes to Taiwan.
That's correct. That's correct. And, we all know that, we hope and pray that there's never any sort of escalation or any sort of conflicts here. Of course, that would be completely foolish to ever wish or hope for anything like that, because we know that economically that's disastrous, but more importantly, on a humanitarian level, it's a complete disaster. On a global level, it would be disaster. So we're here to placate, not to antagonise.
As former Deputy Prime Minister, you were also the Deputy Chair, I recall, of the National Security Committee of Cabinet under both Prime Ministers Turnbull and Morrison. So in that context, you know how precarious the situation in this region, probably better than most. Is that your mindset heading into these talks?
Well, I was incredibly privileged to hold that office, and it's an incredible honour to be on the National Security Committee. But I also remember that it's 15 years in jail if you disclose anything from it. So I'll be keeping my counsel on that.
Well, what do you say? What's your message? In response to some suggestions that the trip is ill-timed, given the sort of the nascent thaw, the early stages of the thaw in relations with China right now?
Well, I don't think there's anything unusual about the trip. Australia's been having delegations or business visits, communication. There are people on the plane. There are a lot of people from Australia going to Taiwan, as there is so many people in Australia that go to the mainland. It's not unusual that people go to both parts of what has been seen since 1972 as part of the One China policy. That's not unusual at all. I don't think people could read it in any other way unless they choose to, and then it becomes a question for them.
Let's talk about a couple of other issues. Firstly, interesting support on an idea that I know the Nationals are supportive of, the potential use of small modular nuclear power. This is something that Peter Malinauskas says should be looked at, the South Australian Premier, at odds with Prime Minister Albanese. Do you see this as something which will generate greater support over time? What's your reaction to that?
Well, Kieran, congratulations to Peter Malinauskas, and he's going down the path of common sense. Let's look what's happening in the world. Ultimately, this will be ubiquitous, small modular reactors and micro-reactors. You'll see them on Pacific Islands, you'll see them in remote areas, you'll see them around the world. Why do I say that? It's because you look at these countries, if you think it's stupid, and I really take issue with Mr Bowen, with this really sort of parochial view that suggests that China's stupid, that Japan's stupid, that Korea's stupid, that Sweden's stupid, that England's stupid, that France is stupid, that the United States is stupid, that Indonesia's developing a nuclear facility down, Thailand's developing them. Obviously here, where I am at the moment, they're the whole world under Mr Bowen is stupid, except for them. And now we've got Peter Malinauskas, who's basically centre, premier, very popular, suggesting that's the path we should go down. The AWU on the right, the CFMEU on the left, the Nationals. I mean, in the end, it becomes Mr Bowen say, "Look at me, mummy, I'm the only one in step," and it's It's crucial. If we want high-paid manufacturing jobs, then this is the place to go. If you want zero emissions, baseload, that keeps 50 hertz on the grid and keeps it running and keeps our power stable, this is the way to go. If you want to be part of an industry that ultimately will bring in trillions of dollars to the beneficiaries of it, this is the way to go. But if you want to be a nation that just exports the rocks, and that's as clever as you get, then the status quo is what you remain with.
Barnaby Joyce joining me from Taiwan. I appreciate your time as always. Thank you.
Absolute pleasure, Kieran. Thank you.